Good afternoon from the National Weather Service office in Gaylord. Welcome to the latest hazardous weather briefing for eastern upper and northern lower Michigan. Today is Tuesday, April 9th, 2013. A pretty messy weather situation upcoming for northern Michigan over the next couple of days as a slow-moving storm system crossing the nation's midsection will set the stage for a 2 to 3 day period of some wintry weather back across northern Michigan. Beginning with the possibility of some mixed snow, sleet, rain, and freezing rain across northern lower Michigan, starting mainly during the day on Wednesday, and will continue through the day on Friday. And then the possibility of some accumulating snowfall, especially moving into parts of the Upper Peninsula for Thursday night and Friday. So it looks like everybody will get in on this, although the timing will be different for different parts of the area. Here's a look at the current weather map, and our main troublemaker is a frontal boundary that extends from the southern and central plain states eastward across southern Iowa, northern parts of Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. That front is not going to be moving much over the next couple of days, and there's quite a bit of warm air and moist air to the south of that front that's moving northward into the Midwest. Meanwhile, to the northwest of the region, we have a large area of high pressure over the northern plains and the Canadian prairies associated with a pretty cold air mass by mid-April standards. And it's the clash of those two air masses that will be setting the stage for our precipitation event that will be impacting the region over the next 2 to 3 days. Here's the forecast weather map by Wednesday evening. We see low pressure located over northeast Missouri by this point, and we see our frontal boundary hasn't moved a whole lot, although our cold area of high pressure has shifted off to the east over northern Ontario, and will be pumping cool, dry, low-level air into the upper Great Lakes region from the east and northeast. Meanwhile, warm, moist air coming up over that frontal boundary from the south will interact with that cold air mass in place across the region, and we'll be setting the stage for a mix of snow, sleet, freezing rain over the next couple of days, especially across northern lower Michigan. It does appear at this point that areas north of the bridge are probably going to remain dry for the most part through Thursday, and then we'll see snow move into those areas for Thursday night and Friday, and we could see a good bit of accumulating snowfall across the eastern UP and the tip of the Mitt counties as we head through Friday afternoon. Here's the forecast weather map for Thursday evening. We see our area of low pressure is a bit strung out now, extending from eastern Iowa back into parts of Ohio. And there'll still be some fairly brisk easterly to northeasterly winds associated with this on Thursday. In addition, we'll see several periods of precipitation across lower Michigan during the day on Thursday, and that precipitation eventually will rotate up into the Upper Peninsula Thursday night. Here's a look at the 3-day precipitation total forecast. This is total liquid precipitation from tonight through Friday evening. And we see a good bit of rainfall is expected across central and southern lower Michigan, where they're expecting anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of precipitation. But even across northern lower Michigan, even though precipitation amounts do taper off, we are expecting anywhere from 1 to 2 inches of precipitation, basically from M32 southward. And even into the eastern upper peninsula, where they're not going to get in on this event until Thursday night and Friday, a half inch to an inch of liquid equivalent precipitation is anticipated, and most of that is going to fall in the form of snow. And if we look at some potential snowfall accumulations, this is through Friday afternoon, although most of the accumulating snow with this event is going to fall from Thursday night through Friday afternoon. We see a fairly large area of 6 to 8 inches depicted, basically from M32 northward into the eastern upper peninsula, and even some areas of 8 to 10 inches depicted across the upper peninsula. And there will be snowfall that will continue into Friday night as well, especially across the eastern upper peninsula. So there could be some significant snow accumulation with this, in addition to our potential for some sleet and freezing rain as well. And this map here is a map that depicts the probability of freezing rain from Wednesday night through Thursday afternoon, and we see it primarily impacting central and northern lower Michigan, although the freezing rain threat on this map may not extend as far south as indicated. It may be more of a central and northern lower Michigan issue, but regardless, this graphic was included just to kind of give everybody an idea of the real mess that we'll be dealing with from a precipitation type standpoint, as we'll have several rounds of rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow. So pay attention to your local forecast over the next couple of days This is a very changeable forecast, and there's a lot of potential for some decent precipitation with this, both in the form of snow and in the form of rain. And some areas could see a bit of icing as well. But when we're dealing with a storm system that has a very sharp temperature contrast associated with it, very small shifts in how this system evolves will have big impacts on what the weather actually is in your backyard. So just keep in mind that things will be changing over the next couple of days. So keep a close watch on your local forecast for the latest information on this early spring, I should say, wintry weather event. So again, the main hazards, as we detailed already, the precipitation mix types and the potential for some accumulating snowfall, especially as we head into Thursday night and Friday. The heavier precipitation as well, especially across central lower Michigan, could push some rivers out of their banks, especially in the Manistee River Basin, the Rifle River Basin. Those rivers have already started to come up with some of the recent rainfall, and with another inch or two possible in some of those areas, we could see some localized flooding, so keep that in mind as well. Gale force winds are possible, especially in Lake Huron, Wednesday night and into Thursday. So a real mess upcoming over the next couple of days. So again, keep a close eye on your local forecast and be prepared for pretty much anything because there could be a lot of different precipitation types falling in your local area. That concludes this hazardous weather briefing for this afternoon. Thank you for listening in. The next update is expected around 5 a.m. Wednesday morning.